Boston has no shortage of independent coffee shops, but one cafe seems to have become almost synonymous with the city, Tatte Bakery. Everybody has told me that I have to visit Tatte while here in Boston. It's a Northeast phenomenon. From the looks of it on the internet, it looks like an indie European farmhouse dream. But as I did more digging, I found a secret about it. In 2016, the corporate powerhouse behind Panera Bread bought a majority stake in the company. Whenever I hear things like private equity buying a company out, I get suspicious. I mean, we all know about Red Lobster. Yeah, I did a whole vlog about Red Lobster if you want to check that out. I'm here as an outsider from LA. I got no stake in Tatte. I wasn't even sure what it was exactly until like yesterday when I was doing some research. So I'm here to test it out. I'm going to find out, has Tatte sold its soul in order to become an Instagrammable Panera Bread? Or does the actual food continue to live up to its artisanal hype? Look, I'm already a little suspicious because whenever I think about Panera Bread, I think about our department meetings. Now, normally they're virtual. However, if my chief wants us to come in person, he has to order breakfast items from Panera Bread. So I'm already thinking about 3-hour meetings with lukewarm coffee and mushy breakfast sandwiches. Let's give Tatte a fair shake. Now, unlike Olenstein in New York City, where there's just a handful of the stores in Manhattan, here in Boston, there's actually 25 Tattes. And we just happen to be here at the one in Cambridge or in Harvard Square because that's where I am today. It looks pretty busy. I keep seeing people coming in and out, so I'm hoping that there'll be an empty seat in there. So let's go check it out. First things first, I really like the tile flooring. Yeah, I'm really digging the tile flooring because it does give this place some personality. At least it's not like linoleum or laminate. Let's go take a look at the menu. Now, obviously, it's a little too late in the day for breakfast, so we'll skip that. Got some tartines, they got some pitas because after all, this is Mediterranean based. They have the standard offerings like sandwiches. But what I really wanted to check out was the shakshuka. It looks like they serve that all day, so that's pretty good. And then I've been told to get a pistachio latte, and I guess they have a special, a pistachio rose cold foam latte. Perfect. I guess that's what I'll get. Looking on the other side of the menu, just in case you don't want a pistachio latte, they have other coffees, but I'm still looking at the pistachio latte. Got their teas. Ooh, house sodas. These are interesting sodas, so definitely not Diet Coke or Sprite. Big lemon mint soda. Oh, that sounds delightful. We got some more coffee and espressos, some other teas, a lot of other herbal teas as well. So my husband would have really liked that. Of course, you have to have matcha latte because, well, you know, matcha's having a thin right now. And we've got hot chocolate and other juices. They have salads, but I'm not in a salad mood right now, and plates and bowls. But again, I think I'm going to stick with the shakshuka. Yeah, this got my attention. Desserts. Oh my goodness, these desserts look really fancy. They just remind me of Olenstein. Remember how we had that vegan passion fruit cheesecake? This here's a passion fruit crembo. Very tempting. A pineapple passion fruit matcha bomb, a coffee caramel mousse, tiramisu. I don't know. Tiramisu looks kind of plain when you're up against a pineapple passion fruit matcha bomb. Dark chocolate mousse cake. Believe it or not, I'm not a huge chocolate cake person, but I might be a little tempted. A lemon mint tart, pavlova. Oh, that's so cute, little mini pavlovas. What they're really known for are the baked goods. That's how Tatte actually started off. The original owner baked some goods out of her home, and that's what she did. She sold it at a farmer's market. So many choices, getting overwhelmed here. They got scones, croissants, and I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and get, a croissant. So we'll go with the theme of pistachio and get a pistachio croissant. But when I was in Paris over 10 years ago, I would have a pain au chocolat every morning. Part of the question I'm asking today is whether Tatte justifies its premium prices. So here's the receipt. Because value isn't just about how much something costs, it's about whether the experience feels worth paying for. so I spent $32.49 for lunch. There's other things you can buy on the go here. So if I really like the coffee, I could get Tatte coffee. You know the mixed nuts that sometimes corporations will give as gifts? How about a mixed nut tart? Now that's one unique way to present a platter of mixed nuts. Oh, that's so cute. These little butter tarts. Well, it does get cold in Boston, so maybe that's why they like sweatshirts. So I guess you can get a Shakshuka sweatshirt. But when your company gets big, it's all about branding. So you got to make sure that you put your name on everything. So you got to put your name on the merch. Even means putting it on this travel tumbler. Oh, I also heard that they're famous for their granola. I'm assuming that's where they make the drinks, kind of like at Olenstein, where the drinks were made at a different place. I guess I came at the right hour, the golden hour, because there's some seats available. They also have a nice seat over there, but it's just me, so I'm just going to sit at the counter. I already set up shop over here. I kind of feel bad taking up a table for two. Besides, the lighting is nice over here. If you told me Panera was a major shareholder, I wouldn't have guessed it from the atmosphere. Between the tiled floors, the fresh pastries, and the Mediterranean-inspired design, it feels much closer to a European cafe than a typical American chain. I may seem a little strange, but I'm just admiring the marble countertop. I mean, at Olenstein, I was talking about the wood paneling giving that feeling of hygge, but here the marble definitely gives off a fancy European vibe. And they get your food out pretty fast. Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. This one is your traditional shakshuka.
Okay, great, cool. Oh my gosh, thank you. Oh boy, this pistachio croissant's a lot bigger in person. Yeah, when I saw it at the window, it didn't look as big, but now that I have it like a foot away from me, yeah, it's huge. I love the grounded bits of pistachio on it, so it definitely is a pistachio croissant. Definitely fancier and bigger than the ones that you get from Costco. And it looks crispy on the outside, and that's how a croissant should be. It should be crispy on the outside, not soft. Then they brought over my pistachio rose cold foam. This is perfect on a hot day. You can see little bits of pistachio on top. I know it's kind of hard because of the glare from the window, but it's up there, so it's definitely pistachio cold foam. And here's the star of the show, the Shakshuka. I love how they brought out some crusty bread. Crusty in a good way, not like crusty as in old. Definitely looks higher quality than the bread that you get from Panera Bread. I mean, I would hope so, since you're paying Tatte prices and not Panera Bread prices. Yeah, if only the breakfast sandwiches at the department meetings were toasted perfectly like these are. As the Shakshuka goes, it's so colorful, it's vibrant with the sprigs of parsley, and there's tomato sauce, the feta cheese, and I know there's egg at the bottom, so I'm looking forward to that. Despite the Panera Bread major stakeholder, this doesn't feel like Panera Bread. It actually does feel like this is something special. Before even taking a bite, what stands out is how cohesive everything feels. The pistachio, the rose, the shakshuka. There's a clear Mediterranean influence running through the menu. It doesn't feel like a collection of trendy items designed to appeal to everyone. It feels curated. Now I'm really glad that I didn't eat very much at the hotel breakfast. There was a reason why, and it was to save room for all his food. Got a spoon here, so let's look at the layers. Let's dig deeper. Where's the egg? Oh wait, there's the egg. Yeah, there we go. All right, perfectly cooked egg. I like it. So then I'm gonna mix it in, let the heat cook the egg yolk. There we go. You can see the egg yolk being incorporated to the shakshuka. I haven't eaten many shashukas, so I think that's how you're supposed to eat it. I just want to make sure that the egg is incorporated all the way through. So I'm cooking it. So don't get mad at me. There you go. Now you see the bits of the eggs in there. I love how they serve it in the metal skillet. So it gives you an idea that this is how they cooked it. So the same vessel they use in cooking is the same thing that I'm going to eat out of. I broke off a piece of the buttered bread, buttered toast, and dip it. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to eat a shakshuka. Very flavorful. Definitely can taste the tomato. It just comes right out. I normally don't like things that have a lot of tomato in it, but I'll eat this shakshuka. It's not bland at all. That's what I was afraid of, that it would just have that bland tomato taste, which I don't like, but not this one here. The flavors are rich, they're bold, and it goes really well with this crusty bread. And I'm glad that they gave me 3 big slices of it, although I probably could go for another 3 extra slices. And another thing I like about the bread is that it doesn't feel like it's heavy or doughy. You know what I mean? It's perfectly toasted, perfectly sliced, that it goes well with something as deep and bold as the shakshuka. So how are we doing with the shakshuka? A little shakshuka progress check here. I only have 1 slice of bread left. So I'm gonna have to make this good, be really efficient, load up the rest of the shakshuka onto this bread, or dip the rest of this bread into this shakshuka. But I don't feel stuffed in a bad way. Like, I don't feel heavy, so that's good, because I still have the pistachio croissant left. And I still have room to try the pistachio croissant. And even if I don't finish it, I'll take the rest home with me back to the hotel. It could be a late night snack. Okay, so let's check out the inside of the pistachio croissant. I'm really curious about the layers of lamination, because that's what makes a croissant a croissant. They're the layers of the buttered dough sheets. Whoa, hold up. Take a look inside. Oh, it's got like some sort of pistachio butter on the inside. It's almost like an almond croissant. Instead of almond on the inside, they have pistachio. I love it. And since we have the croissant already sliced open, let's just take a look at the lamination. So I like it. Gonna look at all the layers. Shoot, I just made a mess of breaking it in half, but you can see how flaky it is. It doesn't feel like one of those mass-produced croissants where you break it apart, but there's no flakiness. But here comes the taste test.
Here we go.
You definitely can taste the butter. They definitely use butter in it. It's not as crispy or crunchy as I had hoped, but maybe that's because they had already buttered it inside with pistachio, so maybe that's why the inside's a lot softer than I had expected. And I can certainly taste the pistachio coming through. Doesn't taste like an almond croissant at all. This is a pistachio croissant. Again, the layers of laminated dough in between, and then you can see that pistachio on top. I can appreciate the Mediterranean European influence or fusion. European because of the croissant, but then the fusion because of pistachios. You know, when I think of pistachio, I think of like pistachio baklava, popular in Mediterranean desserts. Yeah, probably not something that you would find at a regular bakery. I mean, the most exotic croissant you would see at a regular bakery would be like an almond croissant. At this point, I might as well just finish off the rest of this croissant. I was just thinking it probably wouldn't taste really good, or the texture wouldn't be as fresh later tonight in the hotel. It's not a heavy croissant. You don't feel weighed down by it. Sometimes you do with other croissants, but this one is pretty airy. I don't know how they did that. A combination of butter and air. Doesn't sound like they should go together, but they do. So I'll take several more bites of the croissant, and then I'll sample the coffee. I love how there's a little pistachio croissant crumb on it. Ooh, it's perfectly balanced. The coffee is coming through, and you can also taste the milk that goes with it. Because I really hate it when you order a latte and it just tastes like you're drinking flavored milk. Instead of chocolate milk, you got coffee flavored milk. But here, I feel like it's a good mix of the coffee and then of the milk. I'm not sure if I could taste the rose or the pistachio. Maybe I'm a little pistachioed out because of the croissant, but I still really like the texture of this latte. If you look at the bottom, just ignore the crumbs from the croissant. There is pistachio in it. So maybe that's where the pistachio-ness comes from, is the bits of pistachio in it, rather than using a pistachio syrup. I mean, I don't know if they actually use pistachio syrup, but I'm just saying it doesn't have that artificial syrup taste that you sometimes can get when you order a flavored coffee. But maybe if I mix it up, those pistachio bits at the bottom will be better distributed, and then I can taste the pistachio-ness of this pistachio latte. To tell you the truth, Starbucks also makes a pistachio latte, and I can't taste the pistachio in it either. But I do prefer this one because I can actually taste the coffee. From the window seat, I was staring out into Harvard Square and Harvard University straight ahead, and it's making me recall my college years sitting at Coffee Bean in Westwood outside of UCLA.
How flaky was that croissant? Well, not only do I have the crumbs on the plate, but I have it all over on my dress. I'm wearing it. I still have my latte. After all, I can take it on the go. What do I think? Did they sell their souls to the majority corporate shareholders, or did they stay true to their artisanal roots? Now, first of all, walking in there, I felt like I was transported to a different world, away from the world of red bricked buildings that seem to be very prominent here in Boston. It has something to do with the decor, with the tiled floorwork and the marble countertops. And then you saw those desserts. I mean, these aren't desserts that you would normally see at a coffee shop. These were French pastry shop level type of desserts. And then as far as the baked goods go, they were special. They were huge. It's like something that they spent a lot of time on. Didn't have this mass-produced feel to them. I mean, those croissants and those breads, they look like someone spent a lot of time kneading them, putting together the layers of laminated dough. I normally don't get croissants because sometimes croissants can come off feeling greasy to me. I know it's kind of strange like that. Like the butter in it went rancid or something. Nope, but not here. The buttery taste came out. It was pleasant. The only thing I wish was that the outside of it was a little bit more crispy, because I like a crunchy croissant on the outside than it being soft on the inside. I was kind of hoping for like an ASMR feel when I bit into it. The pistachio-ness of it made it up. I mean, that's a unique product that I can't find anywhere else. Normally you could find an almond croissant a lot easier. And as far as the shakshuka goes, that is their item that they're well known for. That's where the Mediterranean-ness of Tatte comes from. It's from the shakshuka. I normally don't see shakshukas on menus. They're kind of hard to find. Not a common thing that you would see on a menu for brunch, breakfast, or an all-day thing. So I'm glad that Tatte serves it as their landmark item or their specialty item or their brand item. As far as the cost goes, I spent about $30 on the shakshuka, the pistachio croissant, and this pistachio latte. It does seem a bit much, especially since it's across the street from Harvard. And then you know how Boston is a pretty academic city. There's all sorts of colleges and universities scattered. I'm just thinking about when I was a college student, how I felt that Starbucks and Coffee Bean were splurges. And at that time, if I wanted to get a fancy coffee or a frap, it would be $3.50, $4, and you could see how expensive that habit would get. So I would only go to Starbucks or Coffee Bean to study for a midterm or a final, because I saw spending that money as an investment towards getting a good grade. But then again, everything's expensive now. I mean, like if you just go to Starbucks, a tall coffee would be about $6 already. And this was like $7.50, $7.60, and it's a specialty item. I guess I'm still stuck in the 2004 prices. And yes, I would go back to Tatte if I visited Boston again. First of all, it hasn't made its way out to California, and maybe that's a good thing. Sometimes when a company expands itself rapidly, it loses its quality, its special touch, and everything tastes bland. So I'm okay with keeping it as a Northeast institution. It just gives me more of an excuse to come back to Boston.
So, has Tatte lost its soul? Coming in, I was expecting something that leaned a little more corporate, especially knowing Panera is a major shareholder. But after spending the afternoon here, I came away with a different impression. Between the Mediterranean-inspired menu, the thoughtful design, and the atmosphere that encourages people to slow down and stay a while, Tatte still feels like a genuine third place, rather than just another coffee chain. It's proof that sometimes a business can grow without completely losing the character that made it special in the first place. If you ever find yourself in Harvard Square, I'd say Tatte is well worth adding to your itinerary, not just for the food, but for the experience of a slow afternoon in one of Cambridge's most inviting cafes. If you enjoyed coming along with me, I'd really appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. And if you love discovering unique cafes, hidden gems, running routes, and thoughtful travel experiences from around the world, be sure to subscribe.